Yo, what's up guys? Chase the Bro here, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Create My Build series. Today's build was inspired by a conversation that me and one of my close bros had about the drakeblood greatsword. We realized that it already had lightning and magic damage, so we were wondering how viable it would be to create a build that is centered around 4-way split damage. Seeing as it already has lightning and magic and physical, we thought we would add fire to the blade and see how that goes. And honestly, this is my first time using the drakeblood greatsword, so I don't feel this gave me a fair representation of the actual sword. Because I made my build centered around 4-way split damage, it wasn't a very strong sword. It can be used a lot better, I know that for sure. Although this was an interesting concept and I really wanted to test it out. And as you might expect, 4-way split damage is definitely worse than all physical or just damage split one way, as in having a magic buff or a lightning buff. It's much more viable to have one type of damage or two maximum. I'd also like to inform you that I'm also wearing the lightning clutch ring, the fire clutch ring, and the magic clutch ring, seeing as I was trying to make it as viable as possible and I was trying to buff each of the different elements. And it turned out okay. I mean, I won a lot of the matches, although my damage absorption was complete crap. I honestly had to bring my A game to make this build viable. Although it was really fun having such a handicap, my damage absorption was terrible, and the sword itself didn't do amazing damage. I honestly thought having all 3 clutch rings and buffing the sword would make its AR a lot higher. I'm pretty sure it was around 750, but that's 4-way split damage, keep that in mind, so it has to go through each of the different damage absorptions. The drakeblood sword itself, though, is a pretty amazing weapon. You often can get 3 R1 strikes in before your enemy escapes, and even if they do go to roll away, sometimes they get caught on that 3rd strike, and it does decent damage. I mean, you're getting in 3 hits with a greatsword. I'd also like to add in how amazing the roll catch R1s are on the drakeblood greatsword. I can't tell you how many fights I've won simply because the roll catches helped me out and kind of carried me through all the matches. Not saying that I wasn't really good with this build, I just have tiny damage absorption, and my attack isn't as great as I'd like it to be. Especially considering all the negative effects all the clutch rings have. I feel like they should definitely receive a buff in the next patch. They're not really worth using unless you're using a dual-wielding build. Then I honestly always wear them because your attack does go up by like 30 AR, and with each of the swings in the combo you do some hefty damage. But on a greatsword, I definitely wouldn't recommend them. As well, I never knew how puny the buff for the Karthus Flame Arc was. It doesn't even add anywhere near the Dark Moonblade buff or any other buff. So if you're running a buff build, I feel like the Karthus Flame Arc is definitely the minimum you can do. It only added like maybe 30 damage per actual swing, even with the clutch ring. It was not a good addition. I feel like centering the drakeblood more around magic damage or like a Dark Moonblade buff build would be more viable. Now, I'm pretty sure you're tired of watching me use this regular greatsword. I know it wasn't that amazing, but it was a pretty fun build. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. And I'm always down to try out random things like this, so if you guys have any, send them on over. And here's my stats for the build, guys. It was a standard quality build. I wanted to get as much physical AR out of this weapon as I could before I tried to buff each of the elements, so that's why I went with the quality build. With the refined drakeblood greatsword, it does the most physical damage, so that's why I stuck with that. You need 1 attunement slot, so you're going to need at least 10 attunement. And with the rest of your points, you're just going to need to make sure that you have 10 intelligence and 10 faith if you want to use the Karthus Flame Arc like I did. Other than that, you just need endurance and vigor, and it's really up to you how you allocate those. I wanted a bigger health pool because I knew I was going to have some terrible damage absorption, which I did. And it kind of helped a little bit, but no, it wasn't that great. And then I just had 35 endurance. Oh, I forgot to mention that I was the warrior starting class for this build. I'm not sure if that's optimal because I kind of just threw this one together. It was a random create my build, and this was the character that had all the items needed, so I don't think it was the most optimal. Although it worked out pretty well because it was a quality build, so this or the knight would do fine. As for my equipment, I have the refined drakeblood greatsword, which does 645 on its own, well, with each of the clutch rings as well. But when you buff it with the Karthus Flame Arc, it jumps up to 753, and that's with the fire clutch ring, keep that in mind. Other than that, I'm just wearing a simple Cestus, which slowly rebuilds my FP. As you guys know, I usually do that with most of my builds. And the Pyromancy Flame, just to use the Karthus Flame Arc. It had the littlest requirements. And the armor that I'm wearing is just whatever, I usually wear that armor. I'm wearing all 3 of the clutch rings, as you guys know. And each of them add around, I think, 20 AR. Let me just check. Yeah, Yeah, it adds 20. Well, the magic one adds 20 and the lightning one will too as well, but the fire one only adds about, wow, not even 20. Disappointing. And I'm wearing the Ring of Favor +3. Just because I need some more health and stamina. That's pretty much it for the build, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this build isn't very viable for PvP. It'll definitely put you at a disadvantage, although you can of course pull it off, and it's pretty fun to play. But it definitely wouldn't go in one of my OP build videos, that's for sure. It doesn't deserve that title. So let me know what you guys think of this build in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, it really helps out my channel. And for any of you guys that want to submit some builds, just put them in the comments, message me, whatever, however you think you can get the message to me. I'll look through them all and I'll definitely save them and make a video eventually. I do have a ton that I have to get to, but I'm going as fast as I can. I really enjoy trying all these builds out. And I want to thank you guys for being supportive of my channel. It's been really great so far and you're helping me grow. Thank you guys. And it's really fun. I mean, I love Dark Souls. And also, I wanted to mention, guys, do you think I should get the Surge and play through it live with you guys? I'm not sure how I feel about the game yet, so I need some incentive. Do you think the game's worth playing through? Let me know in the comments as well, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Chase the Bro out.